I punished my gifted stepdaughter because my son was failing. I demanded she stay back a grade to make things fair. When they refused, I excluded her from family vacations, grounded her for speaking up, and treated her like she didn't exist. My husband just served me divorce papers and took full custody. I destroyed my marriage because I couldn't handle my stepchild being smarter than my own kid. I grounded my stepdaughter for telling her father I left her home alone during spring break, and that's when I lost everything. That sentence is the cliff I jumped off. That's the moment my husband looked at me like I was a stranger. That's the moment I realized I'd been punishing a 13-year-old girl for being smart while my own son was failing because I refused to accept reality. Let me start at the beginning, when I was still pretending I had good reasons. My husband Ryan and I got married 3 years ago. He has a daughter, Lily, from his first marriage. She was 10 when we met. Sweet kid. Quiet. Always had her nose in a book. Her mom Rachel is a doctor, one of those high-achieving types who probably has her life color-coded in a planner. I have a son, Dylan, who was 11 at the time. He's my whole world. His dad left when he was 2. I raised him alone for 9 years before I met Marcus. Dylan's a good kid. He's funny, he's social, he loves sports. He's just not great at school. Never has been. And I was fine with that. Not every kid is academic. Dylan has other strengths. He's charming. He makes friends easily. He'll figure it out. Then Lily skipped a grade. It happened at the end of her 5th grade year. Her school called Marcus and Rachel in for a meeting. They said Lily was testing off the charts. Gifted program wasn't challenging enough. She needed to move up to 7th grade in the fall. Rachel was thrilled. Marcus was proud but worried. He asked me what I thought. I should have been supportive. I should have said congratulations, that's amazing, we're so proud of her. I didn't. Is that really a good idea? I said. She's already so young. Socially, won't this hurt her? She'll be the youngest in her class by 2 years. She's mature for her age, Ryan said. But middle school is hard. The social dynamics. I just think we should consider if this is really what's best for her. What I was really thinking, Dylan's going into 6th grade. He's barely passing. If Lily skips to 7th, she'll be ahead of him. People will compare them. Family will compare them. Dylan will look bad. But I didn't say that part out loud. Rachel overruled me anyway. Well, she didn't overrule me because I'm not Lily's parent and don't get a vote, but that's how it felt. She and Ryan decided together. Lily skipped. That fall, Lily started 7th grade. Dylan started 6th. They went to the same middle school now. And I hated it. I hated watching Lily breeze through her homework in 20 minutes while Dylan struggled for 2 hours. I hated when Ryan would help Lily with algebra at the kitchen table while Dylan sat in his room avoiding his own work. I hated when family members would say things like, "Wow, Lily, 7th grade already? You must be so smart." And then they'd look at Dylan and say, "How's school going, buddy?" With that pitying tone. Dylan started to hate it too. "Why does Lily get to skip a grade?" he asked me one night. "Because she's good at school." Am I bad at school? No, honey. You're just different. You have different strengths. Like what? I scrambled. You're good at sports. You have lots of friends. You're funny. He didn't look convinced. His grades got worse. He went from C's to D's. He stopped trying. When I'd ask about homework, he'd say, "What's the point? I'm already stupid." You're not stupid. Lily's in 7th grade and she's younger than me. That makes me stupid. I started resenting Lily. Not just resenting. Hating. This little girl who'd done nothing wrong except be smart, and I hated her for it. I started doing small things. Petty things. When Ryan would praise Lily for a good grade, I'd stay quiet. When she tried to show me a test she was proud of, I'd say that's nice without looking up. When we'd do family dinners, I'd ask Dylan about his day first. Then we'd talk about Marcus's work. Then my work. Lily would wait for her turn and I'd move on to dessert. She noticed. Kids always notice. "Why don't you like me?" she asked me once. We were alone in the kitchen. She was doing homework. I was making dinner. "What are you talking about? You never ask about my day. You never want to see my work. You only talk to Dylan." "That's not true." "It is." I slammed the pot down harder than I meant to. "Lily, I have a lot on my mind. I can't give you attention every second. Your dad is here. Talk to him." She didn't say anything else. Just went back to her homework with tears in her eyes. I felt guilty for maybe 5 minutes. Then I pushed it down and told myself she was being dramatic. Things escalated when report cards came out. Lily got straight A's. Dylan failed 2 classes. The school sent a letter home. Dylan needed to attend summer school or he'd be held back. I lost it. Not at Dylan. At the situation. At the unfairness of it all. At the fact that Lily made everything look easy while my son was drowning. This is ridiculous, I told Ryan. Dylan needs more support. The school isn't helping him. We can get him a tutor, Ryan said. A tutor costs money. Money we're spending on Lily's enrichment programs. Ryan frowned. Lily's programs are mostly covered by the gifted scholarship. Mostly. Not entirely. And it's not fair that she gets all this extra attention for being smart while Dylan gets nothing for struggling. Dylan gets attention. We help him with homework every night. You help Lily with homework. I help Dylan. Lily's homework takes 20 minutes. Exactly. So maybe she should be doing more to help out around here instead of just coasting on being naturally smart. Ryan stared at me. Are you seriously suggesting we punish Lily for doing well in school? I'm suggesting we make things more equal. By holding her back? By not treating her like she's special. The fight lasted 2 hours. We didn't resolve anything. Ryan signed Dylan up for summer tutoring. I stayed resentful. Then came the vacation. I'd been planning a trip to Florida for spring break. Disney World. The beach. A whole week. I'd been saving for a year. I told Dylan about it in February. He was so excited. He told all his friends. We looked at hotel options together. We planned which parks to visit. Then Ryan asked, "What day are we leaving? I need to request time off." We? Yeah. For the family trip. My stomach dropped. I hadn't planned for Lily. I'd planned this for me and Dylan. And okay, Marcus, because he's my husband. But this was supposed to be Dylan's trip. His special thing. I was thinking maybe just me and Dylan this time, I said carefully. A mom and son trip. You could have a guy's weekend with your buddies or something. What about Lily? She could stay with Rachel. For a whole week during my custody time? It's just 1 week. Ryan's face went hard. You're planning a family vacation and excluding my daughter. It's not excluding. It's just a different kind of trip. You're taking Dylan to Disney World and leaving Lily at home. She can go with Rachel another time. That's not the point. We're a family. If we're doing a family vacation, everyone goes. I should have backed down. I should have said you're right, I'm sorry, of course Lily should come. I didn't. Dylan needs this. He's had a hard year. I want to do something special for him. And Lily doesn't deserve something special? Lily gets everything. She gets praised constantly for her grades. She gets special programs. Everyone tells her how smart she is. Dylan gets nothing. Let him have this one thing. Ryan looked at me like he didn't know me. You're jealous of a 13-year-old girl. I'm protecting my son. From what? From his stepsister existing? We fought for days. He said if Lily didn't go, he wasn't going either. I said fine. I'd take Dylan myself. You're really going to do this? He asked. Yes. He shook his head. Rachel's going to hear about this. And she's going to be furious. I don't care what Rachel thinks. You should. Because this is custody agreement stuff. And you're treating Lily like she's not part of this family. I didn't care. I was so deep in my resentment, in my need to make Dylan feel special, that I couldn't see what I was doing. Spring break came. I took Dylan to Florida. Just the 2 of us. Ryan stayed home with Lily. Except he didn't. He had to work 3 of those days. Emergency project. He asked if Lily could stay with me and Dylan. I said no. She's 13, I said. She can stay home alone for a few hours. For 3 full days? She's mature, right? Everyone says how mature she is. She's 13. Then call Rachel. Rachel's at a medical conference in Chicago. Then I don't know what to tell you. He stared at me for a long moment. You're really going to leave her alone? She'll be fine. I hung up. I turned off my phone. Dylan and I went to Magic Kingdom. Lily stayed home alone for 3 days. She was scared. She didn't tell Marcus because she didn't want to worry him while he was at work. She rationed the food in the fridge. She barely slept. And then she made the mistake of telling her dad when he got home. Ryan called me. I'd never heard him that angry. You left a 13-year-old alone for 3 days. She was fine. She was terrified. She cried herself to sleep. She thought something was going to happen and no one would find her. She's being dramatic. She's a child. A child you're supposed to be helping parent. I'm not her parent. Rachel is. Silence. Long, terrible silence. When you get home, he said quietly, we need to talk. I knew it was bad. But I didn't know how bad. I got home. Dylan ran to his room to unpack. I walked into the kitchen. Ryan and Lily were sitting at the table. Rachel was there too. My stomach dropped. What's going on? Rachel spoke first. Her voice was ice. You left my daughter alone for 3 days during a family vacation she was excluded from. She was fine. She was 13 and terrified. She could have called you. I was at a conference. Marcus was working. You were her emergency contact and you turned off your phone. I looked at Marcus. He wouldn't meet my eyes. We're modifying the custody arrangement, Rachel said. Lily will stay with me during your weeks until further notice. You can't do that. I already did. Ryan agreed. I looked at him. You agreed? He finally looked at me. His eyes were empty. I can't trust you with her. She's fine. She's sitting right here. She's fine. She's not fine, Marcus said. And neither are you. Lily hadn't said a word. She just sat there, staring at her hands, tears running down her face. I should have apologized. I should have gotten on my knees and begged for forgiveness. Instead, I doubled down. This is ridiculous. I'm being punished for trying to do something nice for my son. You excluded and neglected my daughter, Marcus said. She's not my daughter. The room went silent. Lily stood up and left. Rachel followed her. Ryan stayed. Pack a bag, he said. What? Pack a bag and go stay somewhere else. I need you out of this house tonight. You're kicking me out? I'm asking you to leave before I say something I can't take back. I left. I stayed at my sister's. I told myself Ryan would cool down. We'd talk. We'd work it out. We didn't. 3 days later, I got served with divorce papers. The divorce papers cited irreconcilable differences and requested full custody of our household during the separation period. I didn't understand what that meant until my lawyer explained it. Ryan wanted me out of the house permanently. He wanted to keep living there with Dylan and Lily during his custody time. He wanted me to find my own place. He can't do that, I said. Dylan is my son. He's not asking for custody of Dylan. He's asking that when Dylan is with him, Dylan stays at the marital home. When Dylan is with you, Dylan goes to your residence. So I have to move out of my own house? It's his house. He owned it before you married. I'd forgotten that. We'd never added my name to the deed. He'd said we'd do it eventually. We never did. I fought it anyway. I hired a lawyer I couldn't afford. I drained my savings. I told everyone who would listen that Ryan was overreacting, that I'd made one mistake, that he was choosing his ex-wife over me. No one agreed with me. My sister listened to the whole story and then said, you left a 13-year-old alone for 3 days because you were jealous she's smarter than Dylan. I'm not jealous. Yes, you are. And you've been taking it out on that little girl since the day you met her. That's not true. Isn't it? Be honest. Have you ever been happy about anything Lily accomplished? I couldn't answer. My mom was worse. She'd always liked Ryan. She'd met Lily a few times and thought she was sweet. You need to fix this, Mom said. How? He won't even talk to me. Apologize. To Lily. To Marcus. To Rachel. Get on your knees and apologize. For what? For wanting my son to feel special? For punishing a child for being smart. For treating her like an inconvenience. For leaving her alone because you couldn't stand to bring her on vacation. I didn't punish her. What do you call it then? I didn't have an answer. Dylan didn't understand at first. He was 14, wrapped up in his own world. He knew we'd gone on vacation without Lily. He thought it was weird but didn't question it. He knew Mom and Dad were fighting but figured we'd work it out. Then Ryan sat him down and explained we were getting divorced. Dylan came to my sister's apartment where I was staying. He was crying. Why are you and Marcus splitting up? I wanted to tell him the truth. That Ryan was overreacting. That I'd done nothing wrong. That this was all Lily's fault for being too sensitive. But I looked at my 14-year-old son, tears streaming down his face, and I couldn't do it. We had a disagreement about how to handle some family stuff. About Lily? My heart stopped. What makes you say that? Ryan said you left her home alone when we went to Florida. He said that wasn't okay. She was fine. She's my age, Mom. I wouldn't want to stay home alone for 3 days. You're different. How? I didn't have an answer for that either. The divorce moved forward. Ryan was coldly polite. We communicated through lawyers. He kept the house. I found a small apartment 20 minutes away. Dylan split time between us. Week on, week off. The weeks he was with me, I'd pump him for information about Lily. How is she doing? Fine, I guess. Does she talk about me? No. Does Marcus talk about me? Mom, please stop. I couldn't stop. I was obsessed. I needed to know if Lily was suffering. If she felt guilty. If she understood what she'd done to my marriage. She hadn't done anything. I knew that logically. But emotionally, I blamed her for everything. Dylan's grades didn't improve. They got worse. He failed 3 classes that semester. I got called in for a meeting with his teachers and the school counselor. Dylan is struggling, the counselor said. His grades have dropped significantly. He seems withdrawn. Is there anything going on at home we should know about? I told them about the divorce. They nodded sympathetically. That would explain it. Divorce is hard on kids. Is he in therapy? No. We'd recommend it. He's showing signs of depression. Depression? My baby was depressed and I'd been so wrapped up in my own drama that I hadn't noticed. I signed him up for therapy. The therapist said I couldn't be in the sessions, but she'd give me updates with Dylan's permission. After the 3rd session, she called me in. Dylan talks a lot about fairness, she said. Fairness? He feels like things aren't fair. That other kids have it easier. That he's not as smart as other people. That he'll never be good enough. My chest tightened. Where is this coming from? The therapist looked at me carefully. He mentioned a stepsister. Lily. What about her? He says you used to talk about how unfair it was that she was smart. That she got to skip a grade. That she made him look bad. The room spun. I never said that. Maybe not in those words. But Dylan internalized something. He believes his worth is tied to being better than Lily. And since he can't be better academically, he feels worthless. I started crying. The therapist handed me tissues. I was trying to make him feel better. By making someone else the villain? I just wanted him to know he was special. He is special. But not because he's better than someone else. He's special because he's Dylan. And until he believes that, these feelings won't go away. I left that session and sat in my car for an hour. Everything I'd done to protect Dylan had hurt him worse than anything Lily ever could have. I'd made him compare himself to a 13-year-old girl. I taught him that her success meant his failure. I'd planted the idea that he wasn't good enough. And then I destroyed his family to protect him from a comparison I'd created. I tried to reach out to Ryan. I sent him an email explaining what the therapist said. Asking if we could talk. Asking if there was any way to fix this. He responded, I'm glad Dylan is in therapy. I hope it helps. But you and I are done. Please only contact me about Dylan's schedule. I tried to apologize to Lily. I sent a letter to Rachel's house. Dear Lily, I'm sorry for how I treated you. I was wrong. I let my own insecurities hurt you, and that's not okay. You didn't deserve any of it. I hope someday you can forgive me. Rachel sent it back unopened with a note, Lily doesn't want contact with you. Please respect that. The divorce was finalized 8 months after Ryan served me papers. I lost the house. I lost Ryan. I lost any relationship I might have had with Lily. And worst of all, I damaged Dylan in ways I'm still discovering. Dylan's in therapy twice a week now. He's on medication for depression and anxiety. His grades are still terrible. He talks about dropping out. Ryan got engaged to someone new. A kind woman named Sarah who teaches at Lily's school. Dylan met her and said she's nice. She asks about his interests. She doesn't compare him to anyone. Lily's in high school now. She's 15, in 11th grade, taking college-level courses. I see updates occasionally when Dylan mentions her. Lily got into some summer program at MIT. That's great. Yeah. Sarah's really proud of her. Sarah. Not me. Sarah gets to celebrate Lily's achievements. Sarah gets to be the stepmom who supports instead of resents. I'm alone in my apartment most nights. Dylan's with Ryan half the time. When he's with me, he stays in his room. My sister still talks to me, but I can tell she's disappointed. My mom barely calls anymore. I lost my job 6 months ago. Budget cuts. I'm working retail now, making half what I used to. I can barely afford the apartment. I scroll through old photos sometimes. Pictures from when Ryan and I first got married. Dylan smiling. Ryan with his arm around me. Lily in the background, always in the background. I look at her face in those pictures now and I see it. The way she'd smile but her eyes were sad. The way she'd stand a little apart from the rest of us. The way she'd try to show me things and I'd look away. She was just a kid. A smart, kind, lonely kid who wanted a stepmom who'd love her. And I couldn't do it. I couldn't love her because she made my son look bad by comparison. Because she reminded me that Dylan was struggling and I didn't know how to fix it. So I made her the enemy. I turned a child into a villain. I excluded her, neglected her, resented her for existing. And I lost everything. Dylan doesn't talk about Lily much anymore. When he does, it's different now. Lily helped me with my math homework yesterday, he said last week. That's nice of her. Yeah. She's actually really cool. I was kind of mean to her before because I thought she was showing off. But she's not. She's just smart. And she doesn't make me feel bad about it. I'm glad. Sarah says everyone's good at different things. Lily's good at school. I'm good at other stuff. What stuff? I don't know yet. But we'll figure it out. He said we'll. Him and Sarah and Ryan and probably Lily. Not me. I'm not part of the we anymore. I did this. I destroyed my family because I couldn't handle my stepchild being smarter than my own kid. I punished a little girl for being gifted. I taught my son that his worth depended on being better than someone else. And now I'm here. Alone. Working a job I hate. Barely seeing my son. Blocked by my ex-husband. Erased from my stepdaughter's life. Everyone moved on without me. Dylan's getting better. Slowly, but he's getting better. He talks about maybe trying community college. Maybe finding something he's passionate about. Maybe it's okay that he's not academic. Ryan is happy. I can tell from the few times I've seen him at Dylan's school events. He smiles more. He laughs. He looks lighter. Lily's thriving. She's going to get into an amazing college. She's going to do incredible things. And she's going to do it all without ever thinking about me again. And I'm going to live with this for the rest of my life. The knowledge that I had a chance to be part of something beautiful, a blended family that could have worked, and I destroyed it because I was too insecure to celebrate a child's success. I see other blended families now and I wonder how they do it. How they love kids that aren't biologically theirs. How they celebrate all their children equally. How they don't let jealousy win. I couldn't figure it out. I let jealousy turn into resentment. Resentment into cruelty. Cruelty into neglect. And the worst part is, I knew what I was doing. Every time I ignored Lily. Every time I excluded her. Every time I grounded her for speaking up. I knew it was wrong. I just didn't care enough to stop. I thought I was protecting Dylan. I thought I was being a good mother. I thought making things fair meant bringing Lily down instead of lifting Dylan up. I was wrong about everything. And now I'm sitting in a studio apartment at 42 years old, estranged from my ex-husband, losing my relationship with my son, blocked by my former stepdaughter, working retail to make rent. This is what jealousy costs. This is what happens when you punish a child for being smart. This is what I deserve. I just wish Dylan didn't have to pay for my mistakes too.